So here I'll be using my notes from my SL class. We're going to talk about rate of change and derivative of function. First, let's define the rate. Rate is a comparison between two quantities with different units. Two quantities with different units. So for example, as Miss Lee is traveling 80 kilometers per hour, here we're talking about two different units, kilometers an hour. That is a rate. If Anna is taking 5 classes per week, that's another rate. In general, we say that average speed is distance traveled over time that it was taken. So for example, if Miss Lee was driving, or she has driven 120 miles over 2 hours, her average speed would be 60 miles per hour. So in a perfect world, I'm saying this because if you have a graph that is represented by a straight line, it means the speed is constant. The gradient of the line, which is the slope of the line, is always 60 kilometers per hour in this example. The one on the right side, which is more realistic graph because there's traffic, so sometimes you're going to go a little bit over 60 miles, sometimes you're going to be driving less than 60 miles. The instantaneous speed is given by the gradient of a tangent to the curve at any given time. So if we're talking about this time, this particular time, we're going to have to find a tangent line at that particular time. So we're going to have to again find the tangent line at that particular point to find an instantaneous speed. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next graph. So the gradient of the tangent at various points are different. We want to find a gradient function that will generally satisfy. Right now, we are interested in just the interval of the times, but later on, we're going to generalize the gradient function, which fits the whole graph. The gradient function of y equal to f of x is called its derivative function. So f prime of 2 is the gradient of the tangent to y is equal to f of x at the point when x is equal to 2. So let's look at an example. For the given graph, find f prime of 4 and f of 4. F of 4 is pretty straightforward. F of 4 just means what's my value of y when x is equal to 4. Here, two graphs are intersecting. We are given a parabola and a equation of the line. They are intersecting at 4. So the y value on this parabola and the y value on this line will be the same when x is equal to 4. So we're given that it has an x-intercept at 2 and 0. And then we're also given a point on this line, which is 6 and 4. So f prime of 4 just means the slope at 4. So how do we find the slope? M is equal to 4 minus 0 over 6 minus 2, which is 4 over 4, which is again equal to 1. So that 1 is going to be my f prime of 4. The slope of a tangent line when x is equal to 4 is 1. So let's move on to the second part of the question where we need to find f of 4. We already got the slope of a line, which is at 1. So using the y equals to mx plus b, which we found the slope is equal to 1, so we have y is equal to x plus b. Just plug in any of the 2 points. I'm just going to pick an easy one and say 0 is equal to 2 plus b, and therefore my b has to be -2. So my slope of a line would be y is equal to x minus 2. When x is 4, I have 4 minus 2, which is 2. So that 2 is f of 4.